Go ahead and call me a coward, say that I'm not strong because I'm not like you. Go ahead and call me crazy cause I live in a maze. Tell me, how about you? I think I live in my head. Sometimes I think that I'm dead. I hide behind my youth. No, I've been losing my mind and I'm a little behind. Step aside my shoes, cause I never been happy with myself. And I don't need no one feeling bad for me, trying to offer me pity and throw jabs at me. Wanna give me advice and then laugh at me behind closed doors. Just close the door and let me be by myself. Just me and myself. I'm tired of living, I cry. I hear it's easy to die, I wanna see for myself. And I know that sounds crazy to everyone else, but I'm depressed as fuck, stressed as fuck. Ain't no medicine that can cure what's intense as drugs. I need extra love, and that ain't even enough. So that ain't even enough, and where the fuck is God? Damn, maybe I ain't believing enough, but today we gonna see if he's real. And if he is, then I guess I'm probably going to hell. Look, I ain't wanna die like this. I ain't picture my life like this. They don't know what it's like this. Pretending I'm happy so I can smile like this and laugh like you. Sometimes I wonder if I ever act like you. Could I finally fit in and maybe relax like, ooh? Or would you feel lost without me? Cause honestly, I think the world is better off without me and my mind spinning. This is the line finish. Truth is I don't care how they feel about my feelings. I made up my mind. I'm going out like Robin Williams. I guess I'm not the ordinary people of John Legend. And I've been suicidal since the day I was 9. Shit. Okay, the day I was 9, I've been tired of being bullied, couldn't stay out the fire. Grandma told me I should take it one day at a time, and damn it, look at me now. Fuck. Pen running out. Shit. Damn. Look, just know it's a new day, but if you're reading this, then it's probably too late. Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. I'm sorry, but I can't stay. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. I'm sorry, but I can't stay. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. What you wanted, I hope you finally happy. It's too late for you. Been going out of my mind. You don't know how many times that I done prayed for you. I hope you hear me, goddammit, cause I got so much shit that I wanna say to you. I used to shine, now I'm all in the dark. I remember I used to tell you to follow your heart, but goddammit, look at you now, it's all your fault. How could you? Maybe it's my fault. I should've paid more attention to what you been doing. Maybe I should've been more of an influence. I can't believe that you're dead. I read your letter and all I could do is have mixed feelings about it. But I'll forever be attached to you. Damn. Part of me feels bad for you. A part of me feel like you weak and I'm mad at you. And I don't mean to be insensitive, but I don't understand how we couldn't prevent this shit. You took the easy way out. God damn it, you did. I mean, look what you did. I'm so fucking upset. How could you be so selfish? Nigga, how could you be so selfish? Now you're gone, you done left me so helpless. I wonder what God thinks. I hope you in God's place behaving yourself. Yo, what the fuck you gotta say for yourself? Look, I really feel lost without you. I hate the fact you think the world is better off without you. And my mind's spinning. This is the line finish. Truth is I don't care how you feel about my feelings. And I'd be lying to you if I told you I'm fine. Listen, I know that you can hear me. All I need is like 5 minutes. I just want to reach inside the casket and pull you out. I'm sorry, this is something that we both couldn't figure out. I wish I could hear you now. Is your soul missing? I wonder if you could do it again. Would you do it different? Tell me what death is like. Was it meant for you, Brody? Did the heavens support it? Are you fucking happy now? Did you get what you wanted? Isn't this what you wanted? I feel the temperature falling and you've been suicidal back then, you were not. Yeah, even back then you was 9. We was living on the edge, couldn't stay out the fire. Grandma told us we should take it one day at a time. And damn it, look at you now. Shit. But it's a new day, and if you can't hear me, then it's probably too late. Fuck! Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. I'm sorry, but I can't stay. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. I'm sorry, but I can't stay. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. I'm sorry, but I can't stay. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me.
No individual having the opportunity to have a better life for themselves or for their children, if they have the chance to scale a wall, to swim across a river, they're gonna take it.
And the sad thing is, most Americans don't know what freedom really is.
We will move forward to pass comprehensive immigration reform and a path towards citizenship.
They are laying waste to the very American Republic that has been the greatest country in the history of the world.
I did agree with some of the things that Donald Trump did, right? Because I do believe that there should be a vetting process.
Is that unreasonable to ask? Make sure you're not affiliated with any gangs. Why would we want you here? Get out.
The majority of the crimes that I prosecute as the chief law enforcement officer in Suffolk County are citizens of this country.
We grow enough here, we don't need to import more. If I could deport them, I would.
USA, USA, USA.
Life is so hard in Haiti or in the country that they had before, they'll take the risk of getting caught.
If you have $5,000, $10,000 to pay a coyote to bring you illegally across the border, pay to apply and come here legally.
She always said that, like, my situation is different, that I don't have the same opportunities as everyone else.
I'm not going to tell you about their life walk. I'm not going to tell you about how they got here. I'm not going to tell you about the journey they're experiencing. No, that doesn't matter. Them, they.
Sooner or later, I started to get brought into like meetings with lawyers.
On day one, we end a border policy which allows federal agents to snatch babies from the arms of their mothers.
That's when I realized, like, I'm an outcast.
Where is my protection? Where is my family's protection?
I need to know who you are, because if I sneak into Mexico and I commit a crime, there's no documentation of me being in Mexico.
We come from, maybe different backgrounds, but we share similar experiences.
I am you.
I am you.
In the end, we remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends.
Brockton is proud to be the city of champions. With a rich sports history, Brockton is the hometown of boxing greats Rocky Marciano and marvelous Marvin Hagler. The city's athletic legacy continues with the success of Brockton High School sports teams. Known for athletic excellence and good sportsmanship, the BHS athletic program was selected as the #1 athletic program in Massachusetts by Sports Illustrated. The school's Brockton Boxers have been a longtime powerhouse in high school football. In fact, the BHS football program has been regarded as one of the most storied, successful, and dominant high school football programs of all time. The VHS boys soccer team recently won their first state championship in 2017, leading them to be ranked 7th on USA Today's list of top high school soccer teams across the country. These are just some of the many reasons why Brockton is the city of champions.
Stay at the top of my game, can't f with me. You know, when it comes to the game, we don't move the same. I'm who you wanna be. I go hard each and every day, never miss a beat. Not I mean, you gon' regret the day you ever stepped to me. Better respect the queen. Oh no, it's me back up in this again. Thought you was coming, but you been hiding behind all them friends. Wanna play with me? Wanna play for free? Wanna pass, then get played for free? I'ma pass cause they already know that I'm good when I say I be.
Gloria Shay's Sugar the Play will premiere for 2 shows on September 17th at 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. inside the beautiful Front Stage Multiplex located at 3492 Mayfield Road in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. For more information, please follow Sugar the Play on Facebook. Sugar the Play is a Cash Team production.
Cause I never back down. I'm that chick with a clean ass weight. I don't need that shit cause I got my own now.
Hey there, General Red Revere here with Old Colony Pest Control. If you're having pest problems in a commercial or residential setting, we're the people to call. Veteran owned, based in Massachusetts and Rhode Island, Old Colony has been here servicing your homes proudly, and we plan to keep it up. Our team is fast, efficient, and reliable. We go above and beyond to cater each project's individual need. No task is too much for us, so give us a call. 774-400-5993. Again, the number is 774-400-5993. Hope to hear from you soon. General Red Revere, out.
Hi, my name is Jennifer. I'm your neighbor from just down the street. I also ride a motorcycle, so please check twice. Save a life. Motorcycles are everywhere.
For more information on sharing the road, visit mass.gov/RMV.
I know what you're thinking. Is this the booth, drafting the circuits, three-way theater, or the Kevin Jackson show? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I kinda lost track myself here on whobazoo.com. So, do you feel lucky, punk?
As far as closets go, his is really nice.
Oh.
It is. Condoms. Let's see them.
Excuse me?
Let me see the condom you plan on putting on my quarterback's weenie. Sorry. Oh my God! Yes.
Holy shit! Just put a baby in me, please.
Oh, I don't know
I'm in love with you.
Oh, good.
We could have a really great life together.
Zip it, psycho! Find another famous person's life to ruin. Get out! Get out of my house! Jesus. World's a dangerous place, Moran. Yeah. Until you learn how to live in it. Fine.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
This is blasphemy. This is madness. This is the booth.
All right, your boy Sinister One broadcasting live from the City of Champions. You are listening to The Booth, and it is May 10th. And I just wanted to say I wanted to apologize. I had a setting on my OBS for video audio sync that I did not know that I had not set correctly. So I've been trying to get my sound and audio synced up, and then I went in and just checked my settings and found that I had these settings set on my old computer. And, man, so hopefully everything's back to normal as far as audio syncing up, because everybody else's videos that I was producing was all synced up well, so I knew there was something wrong there. But everybody that's in the chat, thank you for jumping into the show early. Kevin Jeffries, happy hour with Lito. What's going on, man? Triple Threat Tuesdays. Viana Marie's in the chat. Troy Ellaby, old school, my man from the MBTA. What's going on, man? I hope you and your family as well. Troy Ellaby, this man, I hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. And Troy Ellaby, he presided over my mother's services after she passed away. He came and, he said some beautiful words for her. And for everybody out there, before I even get into tonight's show, I got to give big thanks. I got to give big thanks to everybody who came out to me on social media, in my private messages about my mom on Mother's Day, and a lot of people, was like Heavenly Mother's Day and this and that. And you know something? I truly appreciate y'all coming to me and asking me about my mom and, her, she's up in heaven and this and that. But I just want you all to know that your boy Sinister One is holding it down on Mother's Day, because we all know behind the scenes, my mother was suffering. She was suffering. My mother had a rare disease. My mother was stricken with stiff person syndrome, which only affects 1 million people in the world. And it's similar to when you get a leg cramp in your calf muscle. My mother got that through her entire body all at once. So imagine dealing with that unsuspecting pain on a daily basis, to the point where the spasms and locking up caused her joints to wear away the cartilage in her hips, in her knees. So her arthritis was crazy. It got to the point where the disease started attacking her esophagus, so she couldn't eat. And it got to the point where she was on the breathing tube. My mom was a nurse. And you know what? My mom chose her path. And I'm not going to get into specifics and all of the things, but my mom chose her path. She chose the day, right down to the day that my mom passed away. My mom chose everything. So for me, do I feel sadness? Do I feel sorrow on Mother's Day? Yes, I do. But at the end of the day, I'm so glad that my mom is in a better place, because she was suffering. She wasn't able to live the life that she was supposed to. And it would be I feel like it would be very selfish of me to wish that she was here, when she was suffering so much. So if anybody out there can understand and relate, I really enjoy everybody who reached out to me. I appreciate it. but just, you know what? I'm good. I'm good, and I love it because I kind of have a smile on my face now on Mother's Day because I dealt with my mom and this illness, stiff person syndrome, for 6 years, and to see how this disease ravaged her body and took her away. And to be honest, my mom, for real talk, my mom would have never, ever, ever made it through COVID. That's just facts. That's just truth. The disease that my mom had, she would have never made it through COVID. And what sucks is that she was in the nursing home at the end of her time, and she would have been there by herself during COVID because they weren't letting nobody in that first year and a half. And she would, I can tell you right now, my mom would have never made it through the first year. Nope, she wouldn't have made it through the first year. So it was nice that my mom chose her path, she chose her day, and everybody from the family that had to be there was there for her when she passed away. So thank you, everyone. Also, rest in peace to our Brockton talent, BBG, Passport Pudge. Me and Vianna Marie was just with these guys. We did a couple of shows down in Rhode Island. We was up with these guys in Maine at Marty Fest. They actually came out to Vianna's event when she was doing Gigi's Lounge a few years ago. It's all over Facebook now. His girlfriend is now posted on his account. If you guys knew the rapper Passport Pudge from BBG, Peasy, Marky Royster, all you guys, my prayers, my heartfelt goes out to you guys, to his kids, his girlfriend. Rest in peace, Passport Pudge. I got the news like 2-3 hours before the show hit. I didn't want to put anything out there until it was officially out there. Now it's officially out there. So for those who don't know, there's probably going to be services and things of that sort. So just stay tuned and pay attention. Also, thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the show last week. Last week, I had my legal guys on, Kenneth Diesenhof and R Squared, Robert Resnick. My legal guys came on here and they broke down. I actually had scrapped the show. So a lot of tonight's show is stuff that I didn't get to talk about last week, and then I added in some new, fresh stuff, but not much because I really had some stuff from last week that I really wanted to touch base on. So I'm definitely talking tonight about some of these things that I wanted to get out there. But last week, Kenneth Diesenhof and Robert Resnick came on. They broke down. We talked about Roe versus Wade and the impact. We also stressed at the fact that this was an opinion poll. This was not something etched in stone yet. This was leaked. This is Samuel Alito's opinion. So this was leaked, and we discussed, how many opinions does this person have that leaked it, who leaked it, because we felt that leaking this doesn't help the Republicans or the Democrats. We felt that this is, it's strategic, but who leaked it and why? So there is an investigation for all you religious and all you freedom of speech and all you people who was on my Facebook page. Y'all hypocrites. Skip Clay, you come out here afterwards. Mike Varner, I'm calling you out. Mike Varner was on my page. He wanted to go back and forth with me over this thing. He's a freedom of speech, Elon Musk, this and that. And guess what happened, people? When you debate with a ninja with knowledge and you can't bring the knowledge, and then you get shut down, and then you turn around and block me from commenting and leaving emojis on the foolishness drivel that you're leaving on my page. Guess what? That's censorship, bro. You're blocking me from my freedom of speech. That's mad hypocritical, Mike Varner. Mad hypocritical. And if you're watching my show and you know Mike Varner, you can send him this message because he blocked me. He's a hypocrite. You talk all this stuff about freedom of speech, and then you go and you block me because you can't talk intelligently with someone, or with some of the women that was on my page that was checking you, and then you go and block me?
Sit down.
Sit down. Sit down. Go back to your page, talk your drivel and your foolishness, and be happy that you joined True Social. Oh, man. Skip Clay, you too. You too, Skip Clay. You come on my page, you talking all this stuff, trying to bring all this religious smoke and all this stuff. Then when somebody brings the facts to you, you turn around, contradict yourself and then say, well, I didn't mean this. I meant this, and this. No, you meant what you meant when you first said what you said, but when I called you out and made you look like a bigot, or I made you look like you was ignorant, then you want to come back and try to change. You too, Skip Clay.
Sit down.
Sit down. Sit down. Because y'all are comical and you're providing entertainment for the many followers that I do have on my page. So keep it up. Keep it up. And again, if y'all really want to come out, all y'all local people, if you really want to come out and ask your questions, don't wait. Don't wait till after the legal guys are on. Then come out 24 hours later and then say what you want to say. AKA Patrick. You know you are Patrick Carrara. You want to come out a day or two later, then speak your piece when the legal guys aren't here to answer the ridiculousness that you sometimes spew. Well, guess what? June 7th, first Tuesday, the boys of the booth, Sinister One, Ken Diesel, R Squared are going to be live at Brockton Cable Access, Brockton Community Access, taping a live episode of The Booth with a studio audience. First Tuesdays live in front of a live studio audience. So if you think you want to come down and ask these questions that you put on my Facebook page of these guys 2 days later after they come on down to the studio. Come on down to the studio and ask your questions live and get your answers live. Come on down. Open invite. Open to the public. It's going to be a great show. I hope to see everybody there. June 7th, R Squared is going to be coming up from Florida. It's going to be a good-ass show. I'm just letting you know. It's going to be a good-ass show. For real. Let me get into my show, though. Let's see here. Y'all watch me in the chat because I'm going out of my mind right now. Going out of my mind. May is Your Matters Mine Mental Health Awareness Month. So if you know anybody out there with some mental health issues, make sure you check on them, follow up on them. But May is Mental Health Matters Month. We opened the show last week, unfortunately, with a suicide. The Judd's mother, Naomi Judd, committed suicide at 76 last week. Just before we went on the air, we found it out and we mentioned it. So mental health awareness is a big deal for the month of May. So just make sure you check on that. Somebody make sure, Kevin Jeffries, if you're in the chat, he does a good thing. He put together a nice little group chat for men. And we check in every day with our mental health awareness. Now I'm not going to lie, the last few days, my mental health awareness has been kind of all over the place because of the Boston Celtics and watching these games over the weekend, The night they lost, I was down to about a 6 mental health-wise, and then when they dropped over 25 points and beat them, I was up like a 9, and then after, I'm going to get into that one in the sports booth. I'm going to get into that. I'm going to save it. Let me get into my sponsors here. Michael Douglas Bretto, MDB Electronics. If you need your controller fixed, if you need your controller taken care of, this is the guy to get it to. And guys, if you're out there watching the podcast and you're wanting to see what I have in my hand right here, this is my script. This is my script. I see a lot of people out on a lot of the different podcast groups I'm in, Podcast Nation, Podcast World, all these podcast groups. For those who want to see, I have a script. When I do my show every week, people who know me will tell you, Keith got a script. He runs a script. He got his show in segments, and this is what I do, and this is why we run. Kevin Jeffries said Miami Heat lost. Tracy Swanson, first time I watched you. What's up, Tracy? How's it going? Kevin Jeffries said, my mental health was bad when the Miami Heat lost. I feel you. Yo, mental health awareness is real, but if you're a sports fan, I ain't gonna lie, your mental health ties into your sports too. It does. It can mess you up. It can really mess you up. So be real. But again, keeping with my sponsors real quick. Vianna Marie, music everywhere. You want to check her out. Stream her music. Download her stuff. If you saw the trailer before the show, the video is coming. Vianna Marie and Hillary Banks. Tactical Target Systems. I actually haven't been to the range in since I wanted to throat punch somebody. For real. I haven't been in the range because I was so mad. So I went to the range. I took my zombie targets down. I went down to the range. It was a Saturday. No, it was actually Sunday because I picked up the bike on Saturday. Picked up the bike on Saturday from the shop after being rear-ended last season. Got it fixed. Went to the range. Coming home, and this girl blew a red light and hit me in the left front of my motorcycle. Vengeance hit. Not even 24 hours after I got out the shop. $7,000 in damage. And her Geico insurance can't cover it all. Thank God I have full coverage on my bike. But, Tactical Target Systems, I was at the range, and that was the last day I was at the range. And I haven't been there, so I got to get out there. I got to get to the range. Weather's getting good. Time to go out and practice my 50 to 100 yards. Because, the zombie apocalypse may still be coming. Right now it's inflation and Ukraine and stuff, but we may still have zombies. We may still have it. Felicia was our t-shirt winner. Actually, Chris Gagney was my last t-shirt winner, but I got to get down to ilovebostonsports.com and get Chris Gagney his shirt. And then somebody who's in the chat tonight may just win a shirt. So make sure you're leaving your comments. I see a lot of people watching the show, but you can't win nothing or get mentioned unless you mention yourself or mention something on this show. So make sure you check that out. Old Colony Pest Control, Carbonell, veteran-owned residential commercial, 774-400-5993. Old Colony Pest Control. He is licensed and insured. And here on Hoobazoo.com, HatchetRadio.com, we support our veterans. As you know, Oscar Mike Radio does a good job also. Travis Partington, Thursday nights, episode 291 this week. He is 9 shows away from episode 300 with Mistress Carrie, and we are applauding that. So support your veterans. All the time, man. All the time. Let's get into the news booth. Here in Massachusetts, a Stop and Shop pharmacist was accused of passing out vaccination cards to the unvaccinated. Guess what, people? Some would say this is not a big deal, but it is. It is a big deal. In some cases, it's an offense. It's a jailable or chargeable offense. And here's the problem. The problem is remember when everybody started getting their vaccinations, and all of a sudden, all these people who were supposed to be vaccinated were coming up with COVID. And, you had all these people on social media, like the Mike Varnas and them, saying, well, how is somebody who's already vaccinated still catching COVID? Well, here's one of the reasons why. And it's not the first. It's the first of many. Corrupt people giving vaccination cards to people who are unvaccinated, who are walking around, registered that they're vaccinated. They never got any type of vaccination because it's who they knew, walking around, and then guess what? They end up with COVID. Then they go to their doctor, and they say, well, I was vaccinated. Here's my vaccination card. Knowing damn well you didn't get vaccinated. But you got COVID with a fake vaccination card. So these are the people who messed up those statistics. So all you people who are out there talking about, oh, you're still getting COVID while on the vaccine, when half of these people, most of these people were getting fake vaccination cards.
Jesus! God! Tap dancing Christ!
So you skewered the numbers. So these people have skewered the numbers because they lied. Because they lied. And put others at risk because of their selfishness. And then somebody's going to say, well, no, they didn't want to be forced. No, they're selfish. They're selfish. You put all these people at risk, hooking your friends up with fake vaccination cards. You didn't think that there was going to be some audit to match up how many vaccinations were given out by how many cards? If you only had 500 vaccinations to give out, and then your pharmacist gave out 900, that's 400 unaccounted vaccination cards that she hooked up her MAGA friends. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, because the majority of those people who are fighting the vaccination are MAGA people. Let's be honest. And people are going to come at me about that, but it's true. I'm sorry. It's the selfishness. It's selfish. That's all it is. And that's why I shared that story, because I wanted to point that out. These people skewered those stats of vaccinated people getting COVID. Craziness. Elon Musk. Elon Musk just said to the people who... So for Mike Varner, again, he was on my page. We were going back and forth over this Twitter thing and he was trying to say that Elon Musk had all this money. And he didn't. He didn't have all this money. He didn't have enough in liquid assets to buy Twitter outright, which is why he had to get money. First of all, bro, when you want to come at me and talk about stocks and things of that sort, you better know the difference between the two different assets out there, between liquid, hard assets, cash, and property assets, which you borrow against. Okay, Mike? This is what we were talking about. And then you came back and was like, he brought Twitter. He's liquid. No, he wasn't liquid. He borrowed money. So he borrowed money from big name corporations to secure his $43 billion. Well, guess what? Elon Musk has to pay that money back. How is he going to pay that money back? Well, Elon Musk is talking about charging people for tweets. So in other words, if you want to retweet a quoted tweet, you're going to have to pay for it. If you want your tweets to tweet quotes to be recognized special, you're going to pay for it. So guess what, people? The Mike Varners, the Skip Clays, all you guys out there, the Nova Magnuses, that's not free speech. That's paid speech. And there was a lot of crickets out there. A lot of crickets out there in regard to this. Because you may have to pay to tweet on Twitter. So much for free speech. So much for free speech, all you people. But y'all was mad quiet about that one. Y'all shut right up. Y'all haven't said nothing about that. You gonna pay for Twitter? You gonna pay for Twitter to drop the M-bomb? You hypocrites, no you won't. You'll go over to Truth Social where Donald Trump is over there. Donald Trump has his little app, Truth Social. They have the biggest amount of followers in the last couple of months. It's the fastest growing app on social media, on Apple and stuff. And of course it is. Of course it is, because there's 70 million people who voted for Donald Trump. You have a whole slew of people who are on trial right now for storming the friggin' Capitol on January 6th, who think they was in the right mind. So Donald Trump comes out his first day, and he puts, and you know, it's all ego. It's all ego, because Musk buys Twitter, Musk comes out, and then he puts his first tweet out after he buys Twitter. And then he says, well, I'm going to lift the ban and Donald Trump can come on Twitter. And Donald Trump says, no, I'm not coming on Twitter. I've got my own app. And then 2 days later, my ick is bigger than your ick. Donald Trump, I'm back, Kofifi. He posts. And then this weekend on Mother's Day, Donald Trump, he sits there and comes out and puts like this whole racist, crazy Mother's Day thing to like all the corrupt judge. It's insane. I didn't even want to share it. I didn't even want to give it the light of day. But it just goes to show you the type of people who are on Truth Social, talking there, whatever. You can keep it over there. Keep it over there. Also, let's get into the legal booth. So we talked about this, people. Hey, what's up, Angel Robinson? I see you in the chat. Angel Robinson, what's going on? James Caslick, what's going on? Riley Kelly, what's going on? Amy Caldwell, what's going on? All you guys in the chat hanging out with us. We talked about this on the booth. So back in February, there was a Christian. He went down and took the city hall to court about the fact that he couldn't have a Christian flag hanging at City Hall. Now, this went all the way to the Massachusetts Supreme Court. Now, I was surprised at this because there's supposed to be a separation of church and state. Boston City Hall is a government entity. It is a state enterprise. So the flags that are up there on the State House or at City Hall represent the state. They're not supposed to represent anyone else outside of the state. Church and state, in my opinion, has always been to keep separate. So this Christian filed a lawsuit and got all the way to Supreme Court, and guess what? They won. The Christians won their right at the Massachusetts Supreme Court, which I'm still shaking my head over, to put a flag at City Hall. Now, we said this on the booth. You need to watch and see what's going to happen here, because it's going to set the tone as to everybody else is going to say, well, if the Christians can get their flag, we want our flag. So, a week after the Christians won their fight to put the flag up at City Hall in Boston, the Satanic Temple has now requested to have the Satan's flag raised at Boston City Hall. Now, all of a sudden, I'm pretty sure the Christians are like, no! Oh, hell, oh, no! No, no! Because that's how hypocritical hardcore Christians are. That's exactly how they are, because they're going to try to fight this. But you fought for your right. You got your flag up there, right? So why can't Satan star hang up there? You know what? A lot of people are atheists. They don't believe in God. Why can't we hang an atheist flag up there now? You see what I'm saying? This is why church and state should be separate. So I feel like Massachusetts Supreme Court dropped the ball on this one. I think they really dropped the ball, and I think this is going to get ugly. This is going to get ugly because the Satanic Temple, it may not be your religion, but now they're filing for their right to have their flag flying at City Hall. And they have every right to have it because the Supreme Court has already ruled that the Christians can fly their religious flag. Okay? So you see where I'm going with this? Guess what? Now the Jewish people can ask to have their flag. And it's just going to go down. It's just going to go down. There's way too many religions out there. And to be honest, it's crazy. This is insane. You don't have enough property and space to put every religion's flag up there to be represented at a city hall. And this also sets precedent. So again, I'm probably going to hold this question for the guys on the booth when we go live in June. But this is crazy. This is what I warn people. This is what happens. KJ said, what the hell, take both flags down? Unfortunately, they can't. They can't take both flags down because they won the right. They won the right in Supreme Court, Massachusetts Supreme Court. And I'm going to pay attention to see what happens with the Satanic Temple and see if they get theirs. It's going to be interesting. In Minneapolis, State Probe finds that George Floyd's killing follows 10 years of discriminatory race-based policing in Minneapolis. Tell us something we don't know. Tell us something. We've seen all the videos coming out of Minneapolis. We've seen it. We've seen it, and he just cut a deal. Derek Chauvin just cut a deal. Not much. he was supposed to be serving 25. He cut a plea. So his plea now he's doing 20 to 25. So he'll get. I think what it is, it comes out he's going to get time served, which is okay because I mean he's got time served, but he's still got to serve out that 20+ year sentence. So we'll see here. Kevin Jeffrey said, hold up, there's a Satanic Temple in Boston? Kevin, there's a Satanic Temple in every state. The Satan religion is big. But see, here's the thing. They keep quiet. They're quiet. You want to know where you see the satanic people at, to be honest? Here in Massachusetts? Salem, Mass. Home of the witches and all of that. Salem, Mass. You want to see some people who get into that stuff, Salem, Mass is where you want to go. And that's their religion. They have every right to practice Satanism. They have every right to believe in Satanism. I have a good friend of mine. Her name is Sarah. She actually posted that she is part of the Satanic Temple. And she says they're a big advocate for women's rights and things of that sort. So, maybe I got to do my homework and start reading up a little bit more on the Satanic Temple and see exactly what their involvement is in government and see where they are putting their money. You know what I'm saying? Because this is something to keep an eye on, because money runs the world. And, religion is one of the biggest money makers in these pockets of some of these crooked-ass politicians. So we'll go there. Here we go. In the legal booth, Ivanka Trump. Suspicious testimony was key to Capitol Riot investigations. So she went up there, and whatever she told the investigators was that it hurt her dad. But if you've been watching this show, if you've been watching The Booth, if you've been watching me and following me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, you would know this doesn't surprise you. This doesn't surprise you that Ivanka Trump went up there and gave testimony that they deem as suspicious because it hurts her dad. It doesn't surprise me. You have to remember, Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner are hardcore Democrats. True blue hardcore Democrats. They donate money to all the big Democratic groups. They back a ton of Democratic politicians. And this was a behind the scenes nagging, bickering type thing behind the scenes. Because Jared, with Donald Trump becoming president, there was opportunity there for Jared Kushner. But he hated Donald Trump. He hated everything about Donald Trump. And Ivanka, if you've watched the show, if you know, she has a love-hate relationship with her father. So the fact that she testified and her testimony didn't help her dad does not surprise me. It doesn't. And if you guys remember, Jared Kushner was way up high when Trump got into office. And then it was like, I don't know, I think it was like 2 years into Donald Trump's time in the office. And then him and Jared Kushner started kind of falling off. You didn't hear much. You just heard everything from Donald Trump Jr. And that was because I think there was a lot of things there that they didn't get along with. And it's going to be real interesting. I can't wait when that's released to see what she said and what she may have done. But they're saying that her testimony provides key evidence to holes that they have. And also, I didn't put this in here, but also for those who are following this January 6th Capitol riot, the Oath Keepers, you know, the racist white men, Oath Keepers, who raided January 6th, who supposedly got word directly from someone close to Donald Trump, which I'm going to say is probably Donald Trump Jr. that was in talks with the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys, who felt like they were swindled because they rushed January 6th, they rushed the Capitol and looked around and Donald Trump was nowhere to be found. And guess what? All these guys now, these Oath Keepers that are on trial, a majority of them are all singing like songbirds, pleading guilty, and ratting one another out and telling all types of information. There you go. There's your patriots. All y'all who's calling these guys patriots for storming the Capitol. They're patriots. No, they're not. They're friggin' cowards. Cowards. Simple as that. Cowards. Take the guns off their shoulders and drag them out of there, F-350s with the Punisher stickers on the back, and put them in a courtroom and let them know that their lives are changing forever and they're not going to be able to get on a plane to take their kids to Disney because they're now on the friggin' watch list because they stormed the Capitol. And we're supposed to feel sorry for you? I don't feel sorry for you. You do the crime, do the time. What'd y'all say when you all saw George Floyd dying under the knee of a cop? What'd y'all say? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. There you go, Oath Keepers. Oh, here's another one in the legal booth for you guys. Elon Musk. For those of you who think about free speech and all this stuff, guess what? There's also corporate speech, people. Let me explain to you what corporate speech is. You have freedom of speech, you have hate speech, and guess what you have? You have corporate speech. Corporate speech is this. Elon Musk bought Twitter for $43 billion. When he bought Twitter, he has stockholders and shareholders that he has to abide to. Well, the SEC consent decree means that all this crazy stuff that Elon Musk was going out there and after he bought Twitter and saying he was going to buy this and he was going to buy that and do this and do that, you see how that all stopped, right? Real quick. The reason why is because when you're a CEO of a company and you have shareholders to answer to, you can be held accountable for what they call is corporate speech. If you go out and say things publicly that's untrue, but it affects your stock or competitor's stock, but there's absolutely no base point behind your comments, you can be held accountable. This is corporate speech. SEC consent decree. Elon Musk was trying to get this kicked out so he could continue to say all of the crazy things that he says on Twitter. Just says, no way, bro. No way. Because you say stuff and then all of a sudden their stock dropped the next day. And all them shareholders, because of some stupid foolishness he said about McDonald's and I forget what else, Coca-Cola, he affected Coca-Cola stock because half these idiots out there didn't even know it was a joke when he said it. So he affected the stock of these two companies, his Twitter stock and the Coke stock, because he said he might buy Coke, which was a joke. But there's people out there who believed it and said, hey, I'm going to buy stock in Twitter because he's going to buy Coke and dump my Coke stock. So the SEC consent decree covers shareholders and stockholders from corporate speech. So remember this, people. You have hate speech, you have freedom of speech, but you also can be held accountable for corporate speech. So the next time you're in a debate about this type of stuff and all the different type of speeches and things on people, this is it. What's up, Geneva? Geneva says he's well aware of the power he has, and I witnessed it. Well, he is. So here's the thing about Elon Musk. He suffers from autism, and he knows that part of his autism is him blurting out certain things before he thinks about what he says. He's very aware of it. The problem here is that there should be someone who oversees his tweets that's part of his board and says, hey, maybe we shouldn't let that tweet get out there. It's the same with Britney Spears. Britney Spears just went on Instagram this weekend, Mother's Day, right? You would think Britney Spears would have a nice Mother's Day post. You know what Britney Spears posted this weekend over Mother's Day? Full-blown nudes with a heart emoji over her vagina and her hands covering her breasts. Britney Spears spent all weekend on Instagram sharing those photos. Why? Because she's upset that she's pregnant and her body doesn't look the same, and she is out here sharing all these naked photos because her body's starting to change. And again, that's a red flag, people. Keep an eye on Britney Spears. Viana Marie says, this man does not suffer. He exploits his autism and says what you're right. You could be right. Because when he said what he said, and he almost lost the Saturday Night Live gig, and he made this comment about the transgenders, several people did make this point. They said that he says what he says because he means it, and they said that he hides behind his autism. So, Viana Marie, you may be dead on, because this came up when he almost lost his hosting gig for SNL, because they was about to kick him off of SNL. And then he came out and he played the violin. He played the violin. And then they let him still host Saturday Night Live. So we'll see. Entertainment booth. Let's get into it. Right here. Yo, my show. Been talking about and supporting this show from day one. When Morgan Cooper released the fan-made trailer, I was on it. Talked about this show from day one. Bel-Air is officially Peacock's most watched series 8 million people watched season 1 of Bel-Air. And the show was on point. And I'll tell you right now, when the nominations come out for the NAACP Awards, the Emmys, the BET Awards, everybody who talked about Will Smith getting banned from this and that in the academies, oh, you're going to see Will Smith this fall, people. You're going to see Will Smith. Trust and believe me. It's going to be a big controversy because when all these nominations come out for Bel-Air, Will Smith is the executive producer of the show. When Morgan Cooper released the trailer, it was Will's son, Jaden, who brought the trailer to Will, his dad. He showed it to his dad. His dad was so blown away that he had his people contact Morgan Cooper and flew Morgan Cooper out to California the next day. The next day they got together, they chopped it up, and Morgan Cooper was signed to a non-disclosure, and they announced that the Bel-Air series was to be made. And now it's one of the biggest hits on Peacock. 8 million people watched this show, and it did not let down at all. If you haven't watched Bel-Air, you need to watch it. You need to check it out. You need to show your support. It was great. Great show. Great show. Also, this past weekend, Doctor Strange 2 opened up, the Multiverse of Madness, and it was $200 million at the box office. And you know something? I'm happy. I'm so happy at this because for me,
spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Look, I'm really not going to give you any spoilers. There was so much stuff that happened in this movie with the multiverse and going through different multiverses. There was so much going on that I have to wait till it gets on Disney Plus just so I can rewind and stream and stop the way I want to, because there's so much stuff that's going on. Now, we all know Professor Xavier is in the film of the X-Men. The one spoiler I will say is that when Professor Xavier comes out, if you were a fan of the X-Men animated series, you're in for a treat. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. And you know what? Look, can we give Wong his props in the MCU, people? Can we give Wong his... So for those who don't know who Wong is the Supreme Sorcerer. He's actually stronger and better than Doctor Strange. Wong is the Asian dude. You know, in Avengers Endgame, when everybody comes through the portals, and he asks, "Is that enough?" And he's like, "You wanted more?" Wong is the Asian dude. Now, this guy has been in, I want to say 5 movies now. I want to say Wong has been in 5 movies now. Wong is the most underrated MCU character of the films. He's a badass. He's a low-grade badass, and he needs his props. Wong needs his props, people. He's representing to the fullest, and I love it. Yeah, Doctor Strange, KJ said, Doctor Strange was super dope, especially when you saw that Illuminati. I'm dead up, man. Dead up. I almost got up and walked down on a couple of parts because I was like, oh man, did they do this? And then at the end, oh man. Sports booth here in Brockton. Nicholas Fernandez. Now this kid has been tearing it up since he was little. He's been in the papers. Nicholas Fernandez is now in college, and he is now eyeing the 2024 Olympics for Taekwondo. Now, I actually Okay, Kevin Jeffrey said, give Wong his flowers. Hell yeah, a whole damn bouquet, man. A whole damn bouquet. Give him his flowers. Wong is the man. Nicholas Fernandez, though, I actually touched base with his moms. He's in college. When he comes home on break, I'm going to work it out, and I'm going to get this young man on the booth. 2024, eyeing the Olympics, Taekwondo. He was sharing some videos of himself practicing in the dorm, his kicks, all that. Oh, man, this kid, he's going to be a problem. A problem. Dave Haggerty, breaking news. Oh, Dave, drop it for me, because I went to see Doctor Strange, and I recorded the UFC fight. And Cowboy Cerrone, he got food poisoning, so the fight between him and Joe Lozon was canceled. And I'm like, look, they got to definitely re-announce this fight for the next whatever. So please, Dave Haggerty, I see you in the chat. Breaking news, rescheduled for June 18th, Fight Night, Austin. So now it's not a pay-per-view. It's free. And this looks like it's going to be the main event. Joe Lozon leads the UFC in fight bonuses. Cowboy, he can scrap. He don't back down from no one. This fight is going to be legendary. This fight is going to be insane. This fight is going to be crazy. The only other guy who's as tough as these two guys right here is Clay Guida. That's my other dude who is another beast in the cage. Clay Guida. If you had to ask me my top 5 MMA drag down tough SOBs, Joe Lozon is one, Cowboy's one, Clay Guida is definitely another one. This is going to be a fight, people. And I know they had to get this one wrapped up quick because everybody was anticipating this fight. Anticipating. And Joe's been getting good with his hands, too. Joe's been getting real good with his hands. So, Kevin Jeffrey says he got Cowboy. Look, I know Joe personally. I've had him on my show. I've talked to him. Played Xbox with the guy years ago. This is a knockdown, drag down. This is going to be a fight. I can't call it. This could very well be a draw. There may not be a winner. This could be the fight of the year right here. So we're on it. 7:52. I gotta get through this show. Hey, last week Patriots declined the 5th-year option in N'Keal Harry. I know a lot of people didn't like N'Keal Harry. They were calling him junk and this and that. And a lot of people up there, I've been hoping for this trade to go down between San Fran and the Patriots and give up N'Keal Harry and a couple of picks and get Deebo Samuel here. A lot of people are like, why would they blah, 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 this and that? Look, if you think N'Keal Harry's trash, you really haven't watched N'Keal Harry. N'Keal Harry has only been here for 3 years. For 3 years. The first year, N'Keal Harry got injured bad. Took a hit, got hit, and was injured bad. N'Keal Harry didn't get cleared to play until week 8. Week 8 claim, they tested him out week 8, they tested him out week 9. It wasn't until week 10 that he started getting his starts. And from week 10 to week 16, N'Keal Harry showed promise. Tom Brady was doing it. Second year, guess what happens? Second year, no Tom Brady, no Julian Edelman, no Gronkowski, and a garbage Cam Newton whose arm can't throw past 50 yards. Guess what happens? Defenses double coverage N'Keal Harry, and the man doesn't get nothing for numbers because they had nothing on the field to take the pressure off for that second year. So the third year comes up, and I said, the third year my man has to shine. My man has to prove something in order to earn his spot on this team. This year was make or break. N'Keal Harry was straight garbage the third year. Straight garbage. That miffed punt, garbage. And he blocked. He's he's a hell of a blocker. He can block all over the place. If he could catch, he has all the upside available. So let's see what happened. Kevin Jeffrey said, Cam played good for y'all. What? Kevin Jeffries, what in tarnation was you watching?
Stop doing that! Stop!
Cam Newton did not play good for us. He played average for us. He didn't play. I wouldn't say he played good for us. He was average. Cam Newton was average. Man. Oh, here we go. Last night, Celtics, fourth quarter. I had to come downstairs because, look, I was in the kitchen. I was watching the Celtics game on my phone, and the Celtics was down. The Celtics were down. They started calling these fouls. They put Williams in foul trouble, and I was pissed. And I could see it coming, and I was getting mad. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go downstairs and watch the rest of this game in the man cave so I don't wake everybody up in the house and get them all mad because it's school in the morning. So I went downstairs, and I'm watching this game, and, man, Giannis come down the court, put the basket down hard, then gave this look at Al Horford. Like, what you bringing? Why you here? And gave him that look like, why you here? And Al gave him that look back like, okay, ninja, we about to play. This is a whole different vibe right here. Yo. You know back in the 70s in the Incredible Hulk show, remember when Bill Bixby used to tell people, don't make me angry, you won't like me when I'm angry? That was Al Horford last night to Giannis. Al Horford lit up the fourth quarter. They put a stat up last night. Al Horford was so ugly last night that he outshot the entire Milwaukee Bucks team in the fourth quarter. That's how ugly it was last night. This man went down, he shot a three. They went down the court, stole the ball, come back down. Al Horford shot another three. Then he went down and stuffed it on Giannis and put his elbow all up in his grill and took the technical foul but didn't give a care. Horford put on the best fourth quarter performance for the Boston Celtics playoffs in probably top 5 history. That performance was insane. At 35 years old, too. Insane. And then Jason Tatum, who was putting up bricks all night, he come alive in the fourth quarter, finally put up his points. So now they're coming back here for Game 5. But I've always felt like when it gets to Game 5 and Game 6, in these situations, the fix is in. Because the way the NBA tier pays their players, their employees, their referees, their camera people, and all this stuff, if the series goes 7, everybody gets big bonuses. I'm just letting y'all know that. If the series goes 7, everybody gets paid that's involved with the NBA. They all get huge bonuses. So, don't be surprised, people, if we end up with a historic Game 7 in the TD Bank North Garden. Winner takes all. Milwaukee Bucks, Boston Celtics to advance. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Game 7 ends up going that way. And look, if the Celtics may not. The Celtics may say, let's put them away in Milwaukee. But again, money does strange things to people. Money does strange things to people. Even Kevin Jeffries said Al Horford was balling. Balling! We fly high. Oh, got a minute to go. I got to get ready to get out of here. KJ says he needs his Miami Heat to win. Game 5 is tonight. Bruins taking on the Hurricanes. They could take the lead, bring the game back to Boston tonight. For the Celtics, Milwaukee Bucks, and for the Bruins, the Hurricanes, these two series are similar to the Red Sox Yankees in 2004. In 2004, that Red Sox-Yankees matchup was bigger than the World Series itself. It was bigger than the World Series itself. This Milwaukee Bucks game between the Celtics is bigger than whoever they're going to face later on. This is bigger, and it's the same right now with the Bruins. 8 o'clock, I got to get ready to get out of here. FIFA signs Singhalese Football Federation for disrupting fans. Big time money. Big time money. Here's what happened, people. The Singhalese Football Federation was playing the World Cup against Egypt, and guess what happened? Security didn't check people like they should, and one of the Egyptian players, Mohamed Sadal, he was taking his penalty kick shot, and guess what happened? All of the fans in the stands had laser pointers, and they put their laser pointers on the guy so he couldn't do his shot. So they're fining the Football Federation the equivalent of $175,000 for their fans doing this during this is how big the World Cup is, people. The World Cup is big because we're in here in America, we're ignorant to how big the World Cup is. We are ignorant. So also sports booth, Tom Brady, 10 years, $375 million. When he retires, guess where Tom Brady's going? Tom Brady is going to Fox, and he will be an NFL analyst for the games on Fox. Told y'all, I hate to toot my own horn, but I predicted this, and I didn't just predict it, I seen it. I paid attention to it. When he was getting ready to retire, and it was leaked out that he was retiring, ESPN supposedly leaked it. It was the way that this whole thing went down that let me be, because the timing was sketchy, because there was this whole talk about Tony Romo not coming back to Fox and going elsewhere and this and that. And I'm like, Tom Brady's going into the booth. Tom Brady is retired and he's going into the booth. And then it didn't happen. And I think because of that leak is why Tom Brady's back to playing football. I think there was all this legal stuff behind the scenes, but now Fox has made it official. He will be an analyst after he retires. $375 million. What's up, my dad? Hey, y'all. If y'all in the chat, my dad, William Hayes, is in the chat. Drop hello to my dad. He's in the chat. He said, good show. Biden bombshells to close out the show. There's not much here. Biden was out there today. He had his White House press conference. He talked about fighting inflation. He talked about Ukraine. He talked about coming together and trying to get these bills passed and done so we can bring inflation down. But he blamed and threw shots at the Republicans, saying that this is the reason why. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as usual. Tonight's the night, though. The House will vote on sending. And look, look at how they try to soften it on the taxpayers, right? They released this story and they're like, the House is going to vote on sending $39.8 billion to the Ukraine to help assist them in their fight against Russia. See how they try to soften it for us? 39.8. You know why? So these Democrats can say, well, it's not 40 million. We're giving them 39.8. That 2/10 is supposed to soften the blow on taxpayers' pockets. Did he talk about saving Brittany Griner? Brittany Griner topic has come up. Her status has changed. The ambassador to Russia is handling that. They are working with that behind the scenes. So we will see. Geneva Blackwell says that 0.8 matters. that 0.8 matters. They left out that 0.2. Ukraine invasion. Not much going on there. I just talked about them. They're going to vote on the aid tonight. Again, I got to get ready to get out of here. My banners for my show. Thank you guys for buying the hats. The shows that I produce, the podcasts that I take care of and get out there. Kevin Jeffries is in the chat. Maddie Cameron's usually in the chat. And thanks for everybody who came out to the Kicking It Old School event and Murder the Vibe event. Felicia, t-shirt winner. And again, thank you guys for all that you do for this show. I'm real happy. I'm real blessed. and I'm ready to go.
Spoiler alert.
I'm not giving y'all a spoiler alert. I'm playing with y'all. I'm playing with you all. I'm just playing. Kevin Jeffries, before we get out of here real quick, he says, did you hear UFC fighters can no longer walk with flags anymore? Didn't hear that. I thought I saw flags this weekend at the fights on their banners that they hang up on the side of the cage, their sponsorship banners. I thought that, but I'll have to check into that because I didn't hear that. I'll have to see that. I don't agree with that, to be honest, at all. You should be able to come to if you represent a certain country, you should be able to bring whatever flag you want to the cage, especially where you're known for MMA. You know, Brazil is known for MMA fighters, so you definitely want your Brazilian flag to represent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're a martial artist and you're coming from Japan or China, you want to represent that flag of that country. You know, so I think. Oh, going forward, okay, going forward, they are banned. Wow. Did that? I wonder if that. I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna have to do some homework on that. That surprises me that someone like Dana White would do that. You know, he's a guy. He backed Trump. He's all about freedom of speech. See, this is what I'm talking about. People, don't get me. See, Kevin, you shouldn't have shared this with me. I can't really be going over, but you shouldn't have shared it with me. This is the friggin' hypocrisy of these people. Dana White's a guy, you know. He got COVID, but he was out here defending Joe Rogan. He was out here defending Donald Trump. But then you're going to turn around and tell your fighters that they can't bring their country's flag to their walkout. See, that's the I got to stop. I got to get off the air, people, or we're going to go on for another half hour. I got to get out of here. I got to thank everybody for tuning in to the show, hanging out with us. He said the whole Russian situation. And I get it. But guess what? I'm torn over that. The Russian fighters, you know what? I get it. That's a whole. I got to get out of here. That's a whole sports show of discussion. So because you want to not have Russian flags, you're gonna ban everybody's flag because you don't want to single out Russia when you have good reason to ban that Russian flag. But again, that's a whole debatable thing. So, hey, I got to get out of here. I went a little bit over. Brockton Cable Access, thank you for watching. And SpongeBob, do me a favor. Take me home. But first, next week on the show, Carmen and Camille are going to be on the show. SpongeBob, take us home.
Well, see you next Tuesday.
Thank you for listening to The Booth on Hoobazoo and HatcherRadio.com. Please follow the Facebook page and subscribe to the podcast at Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. The Booth is a Sinister One production hosted by Sinister One.
I've got to start hanging out with friends that are a little more intelligent and understand politics and stuff. It's just that I'm up on this level up here, and all my friends are down here. Me, nah. You guys, nah. Maybe a little more down in here. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
I smoke, I drink, I do my thing. These bitches hating, so you know I got to make it plain. Don't do cocaine with your chick, my main. We stick together, true forever, yeah, you know we bang. I miss those days, which was easy. If only I make it, bitch, don't repeat. Now that I done upgraded, I've been upstated, y'all think I'm playing. And I got a hit now for these weak ass hoes who think I ain't slaying. Try me, and I'll probably end up laughing, cause I never back down. I'm that chick with a clean ass whip, I don't need that shit, I got my own now. I get hot, I get tired of fussing, fighting, guess I gotta crack down. Don't mess with me, cause on everything, I'ma have to bring the whole city out.
WHOOBAZOO, that's Hoobazoo.com.
Enter website.